Moving forward, we have Wake Forest, a 13.5-point favorite on the road at Old Dominion. This game carries an over-under of 61 points. It also kicks off at noon Eastern, this time on ESPN2. The Deeks on the road, they're at SB Ballard Stadium. I kind of like this place. It's newly renovated. It's pretty nice in Norfolk, but I miss the old curved stands. It used to have like a half sunset looking set of stands, and they demolished those, and I'm kind of sad about that. But when they host a big opponent, I was there at Virginia Tech last year, it can get pretty loud, pretty rowdy, and very packed, and I expect the same thing against Wake Forest here. A couple injury notes for the Deeks. Running back Justice Ellison suffered a concussion last week. He's questionable to play. He's listed as a starter, but he's getting outworked by a lot of guys on this roster. And also starting linebacker Chase Jones is questionable to go on Saturday as well. Last week against Vanderbilt, it was tough to kind of pull data from and gauge kind of how well they played, because this game was weather delayed for it was one of those games where it was pretty much on the whole afternoon. But different games are on the actual stream because they weren't playing. But they managed to force 4 turnovers. Again, that could be a little bit weather-related. I don't know that Vanderbilt's really all that good. They're kind of an offense that goes for it and doesn't mind if they turn the ball over. Quarterback-wise, though, Mitch Griffiths, I think he looks pretty good. I think in Dave Clawson's system, though, you can make a lot of quarterbacks look very good and very efficient. It's very friendly, kind of like the Kyle Shanahan system up in the NFL. I mean, very different functionally, but it serves the same purpose of making your offense look pretty good, despite maybe not having a Sam Hartman-level quarterback. But yeah, Mitch Griffiths, I maintain, is pretty good. 29th nationally in QBR, and he doesn't have the wide receivers of the years past at Wake here. He doesn't have A.T. Perry or one of those real go-to guys. On the other side, I mean, the real story about this game is just offense versus offense, because Old Dominion, they brought in a new system from Fordham, and it is working. They're up from 115th to 38th in points per drive this season, so a market increase there. I kind of expected it. You looked at Fordham, they were scoring almost 50 points a clip last year, and they bring this up into low-level FBS. Their quarterback, Grant Wilson, who did transfer with his offensive coordinator from Fordham, leads the country in average depth of target at 14.9. He is what you call a gunslinger because he also has a sub 60% completion, and it rounds out to only 7.6 yards per attempt because he's slinging it downfield and it's not always connecting. But I like that he's taking shots. In this kind of offense at Old Dominion, when you're outmatched by a lot of your opponents, why not? Especially in the non-conference, don't play conservative, air the ball out, try to, take care of the ball, which he is doing so far. I like what Old Dominion's been doing so far, but I'm interested to know, what do your numbers make of this game, Kelly?
Yeah, I have Wake Forest minus 15 with an 86% win expectancy, but this does feel like just kind of one of those tricky trap games, not because of anything schedule related or anything like that. It's just, I feel like these, Virginia Techs against James Madison, Old Dominion, like these schools kind of in that Virginia, North Carolina area, when they play these G5s or formerly FCS, I feel like they struggle sometimes. And, Wake Forest is not the team they've been in recent years with Sam Hartman, but they're still a good team. They're still the favorite here by me. Like I said, 86% chance to win. But keep an eye on this one. I like that we're talking about it because it does feel just a little tricky. The Demon Deacons power rating took a hit after their 37-17 win against FCS Elon in week 1. It sounds weird. Hey, they won by 20. They did not perform up to the level that the model expected against an FCS Elon team that is not that great, especially for the D1 level. They did bounce back, though, a little bit after the 36-20 win against Vanderbilt in week 2. Both those games were at home, though, so this is the first time Wake will be hitting the road, but granted, it isn't very far to Norfolk from Winston-Salem, but still, they're on the road for the first time this year. An offensive rank of 35 and a defensive rank of 58 means that Wake Forest has the 2 best units in this game, and it isn't particularly close. I know you talked about that Old Dominion offense. I'll get to that. They're still within the point, though. For Old Dominion, they're coming off of a great win at home against Louisiana last week.
Yeah.
And my pregame win expectancy for that was only 28% for the Monarchs, and they got it done. So you're going to see improvement from them anytime you're projected to lose and you win in somewhat convincing fashion or reassuring fashion that they did. They're going to improve. But even with that, Old Dominion is still within the point where they started in the power ratings. They've improved their rank from number 119 to number 115. The 2 units have moved a bit. The offense, like you said, it's up. It's up for me, not quite as much as what you talked about their points per drive. Number 106 currently from number 128 in the preseason. The defense is down from number 99, to number 99 from number 81. So They've kind of gone in different directions, but I am encouraged by this offense. I do think they will provide somewhat of a test here, just given the geographic proximity of these two and how these games tend to go. But bottom line, I have Wake Forest minus 15. It's a 14% chance for Old Dominion to pull off a second consecutive surprise win at home following that game against Louisiana in week 2.
Yeah, I think Old Dominion is just the next in a line of a proven model to go down into the FCS ranks, find an innovator, Zach Kitley. We're seeing, of course, with Texas State, with G.J. Kinney from UIW. I mean, like, Colorado even. I know we brought Sean Lewis's system over from Kent State, but to find these scoring-heavy, high-tempo, air-it-out kind of offenses from the FCS, pull them up into the FBS, it's something that works. Western Kentucky did it. Now, Zach Kitley has his own tree. There's a couple coordinators out there that come from his system that are finding a lot of success. Ben Arbuckle now took it over to Washington State. I've talked about him before. I think it's a winning formula that's been proven over and over again, and I love to see the teams like Old Dominion that need a completely fresh start and a new identity bring these kind of guys and roll the dice. If you miss, you miss. So what? The market has actually favored Old Dominion at home so far. They've knocked the line down through 14. Not insignificant by any stretch here. But I think I have to go against that. I think I lean Wake with the points on the road here. Their secondary just kind of outmatches what Old Dominion has a wide receiver. You saw it against Vanderbilt. They were pretty good in that respect. They've actually been pretty solid against the pass so far. I know, like you said, one of those games was against Elon, so who knows? But Vanderbilt still a talented offense that moves the ball, and Wake Forest is still 46 in EPA per pass allowed. And the Demon Deacons, they keep things in front of them. You can see that in the 46th in EPA, but 89th in pass success rate, which means they're allowing guys to get the ball. They're coming up, they're rounding up, making the tackle. And to me, that's a winning strategy when you have the better athletes, when you're outmatching your opponent. So if I had to lean here, I think I will take Wake with the points.